Right, I'm going to complain, I'm going to apologise about the shaking of the camera. I've got a shit camera holder. Anyway, right, women. When the benefit system collapses, what have you got as a plan B? Now, this is not having a dig at women, but I've just been having a conversation on my Discord group with some women who are on different benefits because of reasons, all right? I've not gone into any great details. They're women that have either one or a kid, one's expecting a child and the other has 2 kids that have needs. Now, they were talking about the money coming down and it being a problem to live with the electric and stuff. And I felt sorry for them, but I said to her, I said, what would you do if the benefit system collapsed? And one of them said, well, I'd have to go back to work. Okay. She said, and the grandparents would have to look after the kids. I said, well, what if they don't want to? She said, well, they'll have to. I said, no, this is the modern world now, whereas in the old days, years ago before the benefit system, as the parents got too old to work, they'd look after the grandchildren and the kids would go to work and earn the money. And a lot of them shared houses and all sorts. Then the other one said, I moved back in with my ex, and I'd say, well, he's got a girlfriend. Yeah, well, he said that he would look after me. And I said, well, men say things that they don't often actually mean, because he's probably not going to risk his relationship that he has with a woman that he's fallen in love with and now has future plans for his ex. So this is the question. What actually happens? Because if the benefit system goes to shit, right, and they aren't getting any benefits, you have rent to pay, you have bills to pay, you have food to put on the table for the kids, you've got all of the things that are being paid at the moment by the state, rightly or wrongly. I don't know what your opinion is, and I'm not putting an opinion on this, I'm simply saying this is the thing. But with all of this coming across at the moment, all of these extra dependents that are bleeding the benefit system dry, and with the fact that our economy is going to shit, and I have a suspicion that at some point in the not too distant future our economy will completely collapse, because it's happening worldwide, it's not just Great Britain here, right? Once this has happened and they say there is no money, more money in the pot, would the benefit system come to an end? And if so, what is your plan? Do you have a plan B? Do you know what you would do? Do you have anybody that would put you up? And how long would that work for? How long would these people say, I can pay for your food and you can stay in the spare room with the little one, until eventually you'd grind each other's gears and maybe they'd throw you out? I have to say that, not being a male chauvinist, the intrinsic value of a man would soar and feminism would go out the door, because there would be no more place for feminism, because feminism and all of its things that go with it would not make you too appealing to a traditional man who's actually looking for somebody who's not going to be a difficult cunt and is going to do their bit. I was mentioning also to these ladies that, have you noticed how there is no feminism in the third world? Because there's no place for it. When you hold, how do I put this without coming across badly? When a man has the money and he will look after a woman and she will stay at home, look after the kids, raise the family and put that together, she has worth to him. But if it's, I'm a strong independent, this, that and the other, and I've got an attitude problem and all the rest of it, a bloke just say, look, no, you're not worth it, I can find somebody who's better than you. And that's the fact. And in the third world, he is the controller. And if she doesn't like that and she wants to be treated as an equal, then you must bring in exactly what he is, and you're not going to, so you're not his equal. Sorry, that's just the way it is over there. And he runs the roost, and it seems to work. But we don't have that over here. And what we have is a lot of strong and independent women that, if the benefit system collapsed, all of a sudden won't be strong and independent women. They'll be destitute, they'll have nowhere to go, their kids will be bugging. And here's another thing. There are many women who are incredibly maternal, who will go to any length to look after their kids. Great, love it, fair play. But there are this other bunch who literally had kids so it would get them on the property, not buying a property, but get them into a property, and it would get the money coming in regularly. I remember as a kid hearing, I was in one household once, where the mother was as rough as fuck, right? And she was saying, yeah, well, you get yourself sorted early, just go out there and find somebody and get pregnant, and we can get you on the housing list and get you your own place and get you on the benefits. And I was like, and that was in the early 90s I was hearing that. Now there are parts of the country that have got a saying called BFL, benefits for life. So it isn't just the women. There are geezers out there. I heard that benefits for life in Wales, but I should imagine that there's parts all over the UK with that attitude. And when the benefits for life ends, I know they've got another career of dealing in drugs, but that's not really going to cover all the costs, is it? What happens then? Well, all of a sudden these people have decided they're actually fit and able to work after years of being on the sick or years of not working for other reasons. And we'll have all of this excess of unskilled labour in the market now fighting for jobs that we were importing the immigrants to do because we could get them to work for less. And whether you like what I'm saying or not, many of you won't, and I don't care, this is the reality that we have coming. And we have problems. But the man who works and who brings home money at the moment, single or not, will, if the benefit system collapse, pretty much all of a sudden become sexually attractive. Imagine that. All of a sudden, this traditional geezer, I'm assuming he's traditional, he might not be, but all of a sudden this geezer who has a roof over his head, that's lived a long life on his own because he wasn't maybe the most in person in the world or whatever, will all of a sudden become more appealing to the opposite sex overnight. And it'll be amazing. I just think we've got some really interesting times ahead. I want to hear what you've got to say on it, but I'm thinking, and if you want me to do this, by the way, right, if you want me to do a live stream where we get a lot of women, single parent women or women with kids on benefits, and also into that we can get people who have been on the sick, right, for years, right, and maybe men that are just lazy who have been on the benefits for years. If they want to do a live stream with me, I'm thinking about doing a live stream and have the call in, right, where we talk about what would happen if the benefit system collapses, because it's a possibility, people. It's not out of the realm, because I truly believe that the system is being forcefully collapsed. All these extra businesses going into receivership, the prices getting hiked through the roof, food shortages, power shortages, all of this stuff is looking like a bit of a doomsday coming. So if you want me to do this live stream with people who are dependent on the benefit system talking to me and calling in and saying what they would do or what their plans are if the benefit system collapses and so on, let me know. Put one in the comments. If you have absolutely no sympathy for people who are completely dependent on the benefit system, put 2 in the comments. You can put 1 and 2, by the way. So, but just let me know, because I like your feedback, and I think it would make for a very interesting live stream. There'll certainly be some heated debates, and there's also going to be some I'm entitled to people who believe that it's their God-given right to have these benefits, and when these benefit system collapses, somebody else has got to look after them. They haven't taken any accountability of, well, actually, you had these kids, or you're living a life where it's been paid for by other people, and you expect that to be fair. There are other people out there that don't want to support you. They don't give a fuck what happens to you. You're not their problem. And that's another thing. The benefit system was put up there to be used in a case of emergency, but it's slowly worked its way into becoming a way of life. And this way of life could end. So let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully life's going to go, or at least information, the news will go back to something a bit different. For the last 10 days it's been very samey. Obviously talking about the Queen's funeral, the new king, Mr. Sausage Fingers, the conviction of a certain YouTuber, and there's not been a great deal else going on. Oh, by the way, we had a new Prime Minister that people didn't really notice too much. But there you are. Hopefully we'll get some more news out, because I've got to be honest, I don't know about you, I've been absolutely bored stiff lately. But there you are. Anyway, thanks for liking, sharing and subscribing. I'll see you in a bit.